welcome back to Boots and Bunny Homestead. And I am doing like 2 recipes tonight. I've kind of already brought you one, which is the air fryer chicken, and I'm going to do thighs tonight. And then another recipe I have not brought you yet. I've only made it a couple of times, but we really love it. And that is Amish Buttered Noodles. So we're going to start with the noodles first because they have to sit for 30 minutes to an hour. Traditionally, it's an hour. But if you need to, you can let them sit for 30 minutes. We're going to do those real quick, and I've already prepared some homemade noodles. Take a look. Alright, so here in my pan, I have 2 batches of my homemade pasta, and I'll put the card in there. So this will be about 4 servings for us, for each of us to get some noodles. Although Emma would eat all these if I let her. But we're going to make Amish butter noodles out of this. So we're going to get a pot together over here. You see our pot. Don't mind my dirty dishes back there. We've got a pot here. We're going to put, since this is about 12 to 14 ounces of noodles, we are going to put 2 cups of our homemade chicken broth in there, as well as 2 tablespoons of butter. It says one bouillon cube, chicken flavored, but I'm actually going to use about a teaspoon of bouillon cube that's already crushed up, because I buy it by the container and not by the cubes, so it's already powdered. So I'm going to put 1 teaspoon of that into the water. What you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and bring that to a boil, and then when the noodles are boiling, you're going to put it in, put the noodles in the water and cut the heat off and cover it. Let it sit for 30 minutes to an hour. Now stir it occasionally so you can mix up the spices and everything. So I'm going to show you that process real quick. Now if you're not using homemade chicken broth, you can use 2 cans, like the 2 14-15 ounce cans of chicken broth. Let's go ahead and turn our eye on. We'll put it on high because as soon as it starts boiling, we put the noodles in there. We're going to cut it off anyways. So to this, I'm going to go ahead and add, if I can get it open, my chicken broth. That's about 2 cups. And then 2 tablespoons of butter, which I keep mine out. All you food Nazis and police. And let's go ahead and cut it up just a little bit to allow it to melt easier. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and put in a little bit of garlic powder because we like garlic powder in ours. Let's go ahead and put that in. And then this is what I use instead of the cubes. I buy this in a big container because I have to have a lot of it in order to make my cream of everything soup mix. And this is a tablespoon, but I'm only going to do about half of it. Yeah. So 1 teaspoon to about half a tablespoon would be about how much you want to put in here. I would, let's see on here, sodium, there's 820 milligrams sodium in here in a teaspoon. So that's plenty of salt for us. So we're going to bring this to a boil, and it's already starting to get hot. Once it comes to a boil, then I'll show you putting the noodles in there. Now in the meantime, while the water is heating up, getting ready for the noodles, I'm going to go ahead and get my air fryers ready. I am going to do both of them tonight, just like I did in the last recipe video that I showed you with the leg quarters. But I'm doing chicken thighs, and we're going to do, you can do like 380 for, they say 10 to 12 minutes each side with the bone in, skin on. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start with the underside up. So whenever I flip it over the second half, the skin will be on top and it'll get good and crispy for me. So I'm going to do the basket as well as the tray one. And I guess I can show you that real quick as I preheat them and get them ready. Okay, so here you see I've got it set to 380, and I've got it set on 25 minutes, and that's to give it 5 minutes to preheat. And our water is now boiling. So this is going to preheat for just a few minutes. When it gets to 20, then I can go ahead and put the chicken in there. So let's get our noodles in the water. Okay, so I'm hoping the steam is not going to fog the camera up. So here is my spaghetti spoon. I use a wooden one. Somebody at one time thought this was actually a hairbrush. So I'm going to reach back here and go ahead and cut that eye off. And then I'm going to slowly drop these homemade noodles in here because they do tend to stick together. So I've kind of got to pull them apart as they go in because I forgot to coat them with flour when I was cutting them. And no, in this recipe you will not have any water, or you shouldn't have any water to pour off. The noodles should absorb everything. Alright, so we're going to mix these around, get them loosened up some. Okay, now we're going to cover these. So since it's going to take us 20 minutes or so to get the chicken cooked, the noodles are just going to sit there until we are ready to eat, because the chicken will have to cool off a little bit before we can get into it. So by the time the chicken's done, the noodles will be done. Now you can add any other sides you want to this as a vegetable. You can do green beans or sweet potatoes or corn or broccoli or whatever your family likes. I'm going to look and see what I have left over in the refrigerator first before I pull anything else out. Not sure exactly what I'm going to have with it. So we're fixing to get the chicken ready, and I will show you some seasonings and stuff that I'm going to put on the outside of the chicken, and then we'll pop it in. Alright, so I have a bowl here that I am going to put some seasonings in that we're just going to kind of sprinkle over the chicken once we put it in the air fryer. So let's see what we got. Let's do some garlic powder, and probably I've got like 8 or 10 thighs, so I'm going to do a good palmful. That's probably about a tablespoon. And then we've got some onion powder. We'll do about the same with that. So onion powder and garlic powder, about a tablespoon. Yes, sir. And what else do we got? You want to do some thyme? Let's do some thyme. Got my thyme here. Now, mine is still on the stems, so I'm going to take just a second to get some of those off. And I take them off the stem and shred them in my hands right before I use them. I do that with all my homegrown herbs except for sage, which I have to have pre-ground whenever I make sausage. So I kind of have to have that already done. But anyways, I'm going to sit here and get this thyme put in here real quick, and I'll see you in a sec. Alright, here's my mixture. And then we're going to add just a little bit of salt and pepper, which is behind you guys. So probably about a half a teaspoon of salt. And about 3/4 of a teaspoon of pepper. And then I'm just going to mix this up. Now, if you have an empty spice shaker, let's see if I have one. Yes, I have one. You can save these little spice shakers for whenever you have mixtures and stuff like this. This had cumin in it, hang on. Which is not going to mess with my flavor in any. You can actually put these spices in here and then you can shake them because it has the big holes in them, and you can shake them out on top of the chicken. So let's do that real quick. And if you have a funnel, that makes it a little bit easier to put into this bottle. And then that way, if you run out and you need to refill, then you can just use the same bowl that you were using and put some more in there. So here is our pre-made chicken spice. And let's get it put in the air fryer. Okay, a little trick I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paper towels down. And then I'm going to take my tray out and set it on top of here. Now, this is going to prevent my door from getting dirty. And that way I can sprinkle the chicken legs with the spices, and my spices doesn't get all everywhere. Okay, so I'm just going to put one on there. I'm going to do bottom up first. So that way I can flip it over and have the skin on top for the crust. Okay, so we're just going to shake, 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 and go get another one. And then after you get through touching this spice bottle with your chicken fingers, go ahead and throw it away. You can get another one. If you want to, you can also spray your trays. Okay, here's one. Just slide it in there and get the next tray. Now that is ready, we're going to close it, turn it back on, put it back on 380, and 20. Now, one thing I am going to do, these are done. I'm going to swap them because the tops are done and the bottom isn't like crispy. So I'm going to swap them, and I'm going to do like 5 more minutes and then kind of see where we're at. Alright, so we've got everything fixed. Let me show you the noodles. There's the noodles. Homemade pasta noodles. I got out some of our cauliflower mac and cheese. You guys would have seen that like 2 days ago. So I got some of that out, heated up for, basically for me and Steven, because the kids don't like cauliflower. But that's okay. They're lost. And then we've got our chicken in here. And this is what it looks like. And this one was the one that was on top. The first half. There's the kasori chicken. Okay guys, so there's you a simple air fryer chicken recipe, again with thighs, homemade seasonings, and then a recipe for buttered noodles. And then you've seen the cauliflower mac and cheese on Wednesday, so go check that one out if you missed that one. And we're fixing to eat. So we'll see you later guys. Bye.